Let's get back into it.
Yep.
Hours pass. We proceed with caution to avoid being detected by the SPXs. Oops. Hey, I've got an idea. Do you trust me? It's been so many hours that I don't even know how far we've walked anymore. And now Renegade Detective has some strange proposal for me. Tell me your idea first, then I'll decide if I trust you or not. Tough Sal, aren't you? Look, do you remember that hint, discard your theories? I doubt it's only meant for dealing with the invisible SPXs. It must have another meaning. Which is? Well, that's a trade secret, you see. Trust me and go along with my plan, then I'll tell you all about it.
And just what do you ever have to say that's worthy of anyone's trust?
For some reason, Posh retorts on my behalf.
Do not think have forgotten how your actions resulted in Rowdy's demise. There's no doubt in my mind that you fully intend to cause another death with whatever scheme you're concocting. I won't stand for it.
Fair enough. It's only natural for you to feel that way, so I won't bother arguing back. But trudging onward while watching out for those invisible SPXs has us exhausted. Wandering around aimlessly, now that's gonna cause another death. Life is precious, it's irreplaceable, so curling up and dying from this heat is something I'm not willing to accept. Have some faith in me, and I promise to save you all, okay? Come on, just give me a chance. You're not going to tell us first, then? You just write it off as idiotic if I did. If you won't trust me, then I won't say a word. Believing in me is my condition for sharing my idea. The terms of agreement, so to speak.
Give your moronic tongue a rest for once. Hearing you speak how precious life is, it's like watching the blind preach to the blind.
Almost the right phrase there, Posh. You really do say the darndest things. I kinda like it.
Silence! Oh, how I absolutely detest you. Go on, incompetent, tell him.
I trust you, Renegade.
Precisely, I too completely and utterly trust. Wait, what did you just say?
Posh swerves toward me, the shock plain on her face.
Have you gone mad, incompetent? Were you and Rowdy not dear to one another? This is the man who brought about her death, and you actually intend to trust him?
I do. I won't forgive him for Rowdy's death. But I do trust in Renegade Detective's abilities, especially when it comes to getting us out of this labyrinth.
And why is that? It's not as though he's some sort of labyrinth specialist. Yeah, that's his new name, the Labyrinth Detective.
Yeah, exactly. This maze contains challenging ciphers, geothermal heat, and invisible SPXs. It's designed to make anyone who enters suffer, right? That's why Renegade Detective is our best hope for defeating this challenge. No one here can match him in making others suffer. Yeah, that's true. Such high praise, you flatterer, you. No one is better than Renegade Detective at spreading misery, which also means no one is better equipped to solving this devilish maze. We're gonna need to trust our least trustworthy companion. It's a tough choice, but I'll follow Rowdy's advice and go with my gut on this. Like I said, Renegade Detective, I trust you. Now tell us your plan. No doubt about it. You make me tingle most of all, incompetent. What I ask of you is quite simple, really. Let me stand by at the dead end that's supposed to lead to the facility. In the meantime, I want you to keep the SPXs occupied for a few hours.
Hold on, the SPX's attention for several hours? Out of the question. It's impossible at that. You may as well bid us to dig our own graves.
Okay, we'll do as you say. Our strength is yours, Sir Incompetent. With us four, stalling for time should be no problem at all.
Incompetent, I promise I won't let you die.
You guys. I'm going to, said the girl, volunteering to participate in the plan. Me too.
Well, as your chief, I shall naturally be joining as well, obviously.
No, I want you three to go with Renegade Detective and keep an eye on his actions. We don't know what he's actually planning, so stay close to him and find out. Wonderful. These developments are making me tingle. Well then, let's all meet up in a few hours, alive and well. Oh, forgot to mention the most important part. You can hide while you distract the SPXs, but don't touch any of the walls or pillars, okay? The walls and pillars? Why? It's all part of my plan. That hardly answers the question, but we decide to go along with Renegade's instructions. We return to the cipher room and start banging on the walls, just as we've been doing to all the walls on the way over. Didn't he say not to touch the walls? The invisible SPXs should be approaching soon, given that they track sound. From there, all we have to do is destroy them one by one.
I'll find the invisible SPXs.
Even if they should strike me, I shall surely overlive. Allow me to defend you with all my strength. Bix, this is here to fend them off, so just leave it to me. All I need is one hint, and I'll put them out of service. Thank you, everyone. The mechanical clamor of SPXs draws near. I feel a cold bead of sweat run on my skin. There's no choice. We have to do this. Whatever happens, we're making it through these next few hours. Oh, we have an investigation. Okay. Invisible SPX approaches. Detectives can inspect to discover its hidden location. Once the SPX is revealed, make inferences to destroy it, and anyone left within its range will die. Unarmed detective, if things get dire, his sturdy defenses are impervious to its attack. His shield and survive until the time specified by Renegade Detective. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so. I probably want to, like, do these one at a time, right?
Yeah.
Should probably move everyone, like, together. Okay, and then we'll do... And then we'll do that. Save armor for last. Okay, well. Okay, so we have him get this. So we get the new keyword. And we just move on. Okay. Okay. I see. You gotta read the line, or?
Oh, sorry. Everyone, look out. I sense an SPX is closing in on us.
Tisk.
Yeah, sorry. So, when I adjust my headset, my mute button is right on the headset. So sometimes I don't realize I hit it because it's super sensitive. I get the same problem with the Pi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, Yeah, armor has a pretty high inspection range. That should be it, right? Whoa, I sense one of those electronic contraptions. No surprise attack shall catch me unawares. Okay, cool. Let's see, where can I move? She can't move close enough. Let's not. Okay, well, I just have to end then. Nary a scratch. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you want, I can repeat it.
Yeah. We're good, we're good. And then I could probably get her to assist. Oh, okay. And then I'm actually gonna just probably have him stay there. Okay, so there's one there as well. Okay, that's enough. Okay, not infer. Oh, or does it happen automatically? Okay. Move these people up. One's pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy, at least. Okay. There's what? Yeah. Then... Okay, so this is the last turn. Perfect. Okay, so assisting him makes him infer. I see. Automatically. Should be able to inspect. Okay, well, actually, we're. Okay. That's nice and quick. We return to the dead end, but where once there had been a blank wall, a new route now stands. How? The wall started moving all on its own a minute ago, and this path opened up. It appears that doing nothing was in fact the solution, said the girl, hazarding some conjecture about their current situation. Doing nothing? Bookworm nailed it. What a smarty pants, huh? Like she told us earlier, if you picture the direction and distance we've traveled so far, it's clear this maze should lead to Snarks. And yet, no matter how hard we searched, we couldn't find a mechanism, which led me to think there's no switch to operate it at all. Combining that with the SPX's hint to discard your theories pointed me toward that famous method of traversing a maze.
You mean the left-hand rule? Where you walk along while keeping your hand to the wall?
Bingo. Dead on, Dolly. We made it this far by using that rule, right? But I mean, it's so well known. I'm sure a lot of others would do the same. Not to mention, the invisible SPXs forced you to duck behind the pillars. Navigating this place means you're bound to touch a wall.
What a vexatious labyrinth. I suppose it stands to reason that you could solve it, Renegade.
Don't make me blush. You're too kind.
I was being sarcastic. You... Ugh.
Anyway, we can keep going now. Thank you, Renegade Detective. I'm glad we put our trust in you. Renegade Detective looks surprised at my gratitude. You're thanking me? How admirable. That attitude you've got is really something special. As far as I'm concerned, you and I are on the same team. I want to keep trusting you after all. We're both fellow detectives, aren't we? So please, tell us your real thoughts, your real feelings. Deceiving each other won't do any good. It just isn't right. After a long pause, Renegade Detective takes a deep breath and begins speaking. Make no mistake, there hasn't been a single lie in anything I've ever said. I truly do believe that life is sacred. Killers have a duty to the lives they claim, so I can't forgive how little the Quartering Duke cares. He goes against all that I believe. I'll do anything, sacrifice anyone, to make sure he gets what he deserves. Even my companions. In a flash, Renegade Detective's face turned serious. He must be sincere. I see none of his usual mirth before me. Renegade Detective, the cruelest member of the Detective Alliance. Even now, I can't get a grasp on his convictions. That's how it is, then let's keep moving. We've got to get out of here and take on the Quartering Duke. Yeah, I hope in my heart of hearts that we get to fight the Quartering Duke together, incompetent. I see a familiar room up ahead. Every side leads to a dead end. It doesn't take me long to guess that there must be a cipher in here.
Yet another puzzle to solve?
Lady Posh, you must hold fast. Armor catches Posh as she involuntarily totters. Posh, your face is turning pale. You aren't getting your daily nutrients. I mean, we're in a dungeon. None of us are. Now that you mention it, Posh hasn't eaten very much. My clock reads 20. We've been walking for an entire day. No wonder Posh is all shaky. She's been pushing herself too hard since last night. It's far cooler here than what we've traversed so far. We must have gone beyond the heat source. I just want to stay here, said the girl, letting her true feelings show.
How about we call it a day, incompetent? We could take our time with this cipher.
Everyone else looks exhausted, too. Only Renegade Detective is smiling. Fucking... I don't know, I got nothing. Doleful's right. We should take a break for now. Just imagine him with that stupid smirk on his face. Like, nutrients? Who needs to eat? All right, let's just give the cipher a quick check. Then we can stop for the day. Looks like this is our cipher. Renegade Detective, who had distanced himself from the rest of us, points toward a wall. On approaching, I once again see a collection of bizarre shapes drawn on its surface. Seems a lot more straightforward. 3 arrows.
Yeah.
What could it mean? Oh, we're getting a flashback scene.
Watto, hang tough. Don't give up. I'm assuming it's ideal.
Yeah. Yep. I can hear a girl's voice from far off.
Can't die, Watto. You're supposed to become a great detective, remember? Watto? Watto?
A girl is crying next to me. She's calling out my name. I want to reply, but my body won't budge. My strength is pouring out of me like water draining from the tub. Could this be what dying feels like?
you end up dying, then I...
Beep. Mechanical thrumming drowns out the girl's voice. What? I leap up in a panic, the artificial noise ringing in my ears, but when I check my surroundings, there's no sign of an SPX. The other detectives are still sound asleep, breathing quietly around me. Must have been a dream. I relax and feel a deep sense of relief wash over me.
You were only somewhat conscious, so I saw no more than fragments and pieces, but it seems you had quite a terrifying dream.
Holmes looks at me with concern. Her voice sounds so similar to the girl in my dream. But that's impossible. Wait, why is that impossible? That should be, like, that should be really obvious. Like, you know she's the girl from the past, so...
Yeah.
It was a weird one, that's for sure. I was dying and I heard you calling out to me.
Oh?
It was the polar opposite of our actual reality. You were showing what my heart truly wished for. If I had been killed instead of you, I just know this many people wouldn't have died.
You mustn't joke about such things, Watto.
Holmes slides close to me as she speaks.
Just as no one can fill my role, you too. So too can no one replace you, even if it were possible to die in my place. By no means should you have done so.
But you're the greatest detective in the world. You should be the one who gets to live, not some worthless, incompetent kid like me.
Not another word of that. You saved my life a decade ago. I took the name Ideal Detective because I wish to be as strong as you are. You will surpass me as a detective. I'm certain of this. I'll keep by your side, supporting you, all the while. So be strong and persevere.
How can you have so much faith in me? What are you, is this Renegade? What are you mumbling yourself about? Huh?
Think so?
Oh, it was Workaholic.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it, because I mean, I can hear the voices. They're a little low for me. But I
Oh,
was like,
okay,
it
yeah, I
sounded
can't
like
really hear the
Workaholic.
voices.
Yeah, and that's, yeah. It sounded like Workaholic, but like, wait, where would he be? He wouldn't be with us. Okay, anyway.
Are you the mole? The Duke's inside man, that is?
Workaholic suddenly appears before me. When did he... and from where? I look at the wall with the cipher, but the passage is shut. Is he hiding in one of the passages we came through? Me, an inside man? What are you suggesting? Nobody in our group is a mole. I answer as calmly as I can while taking a defensive stance. There's no need for Workaholic to hide his past now. If he wants to kill us, he can do so without hesitation. Can't let my guard slip.
Relax, I have no intention of harming you. Where did Renegade Detective go? I came to have a little chat. Unfortunately, it seems I've missed him.
Now that he mentions it, I don't see a trace of Renegade Detective anywhere. I'm still a bit rattled, but this is a good opportunity to ask Workaholic about something that's been gnawing at me. I wonder. If you want me to tell you, you'll have to answer some questions first. Try to still my thundering heartbeat. Each word from my mouth takes my full concentration. Why were Holmes and I kidnapped 10 years ago? Why are we trapped in this underground maze? I want the truth, Workaholic. No. Diabolic. His mouth twitches when I call him that name. I knew it. That alias is a sore spot for him. He keeps himself steady and replies coolly.
Fine. You have a right to the truth. I'll tell you everything I know. What Renegade said is true. I used to be a part of the secret police, carrying all sorts of tasks on their behalf. In fact, the silent facility once belonged to them.
What was the purpose of the secret police to begin with? They made such a sprawling facility. They must have been a large organization, right?
They say some slippery politician in power was behind it. Apparently, the Dayless Night incident really shook things up in the government.
Dayless Night incident again, huh? It seems to have some connection to the Duke's killings. Was it really that major? I mean, it was stopped preemptively, wasn't it? The case would appear on TV specials from time to time, but it wasn't something I often heard discussed before coming to this island. I just assumed it was another terrorist attack that had been foiled early, but maybe I'm wrong.
You were only so old at the time, so it makes sense you wouldn't know. The horrifying part is that it led to an explosion of domestic crime.
Yeah, I've been told that much. I also heard the Detective Alliance was made in response to that. But wasn't that only a rumor? There isn't any concrete evidence, right?
Right. Nothing to prove it, not even logic. But it's undeniable that there is a spike in heinous crimes, which the DA tackled to much acclaim. The case of the vampire, the Ikebukuro Ripper, and more recently, the Shinjuku Rainwalker. Just some examples off the top of my head. With so many atrocities in its wake, it's hard to write off as a coincidence. No doubt, criminals are drawn to the Dayless Night incident. Just one incident threw an entire nation into madness. As a result, its government needed a brigade to step in and set things straight.
And so the secret police came into being, along with this facility.
Exactly right. The trials built into this maze were intended to create superpowered detectives who would rival the Pinkertons' former power. When I was still a young greenhorn, playing excited me. I truly believed what I was doing was just, yet I became something diabolical. We kidnapped orphans, such as you and the chief, conducted neurosurgeries, then put them through life or death trials to awaken their potential.
Neurosurgery? That's the first I'm hearing about that.
Oh? So you really have lost your memory?
We did so many surgeries on you, kid. Yeah, like crazy amount of surgeries.
Yeah.
Surprised you don't remember it. Like, it was crazy.
I'm surprised the chief did fill you in. If you don't need to remember it, it's better that you don't.
Wait just a minute. What do you mean? What kind of potential was the secret police trying to awaken? Supernatural abilities. No.
Oh.
Renegade, where have you been? Out for a walk? I sensed Workaholic detective lurking about, so I thought I'd go meet him. Yet we somehow managed to breeze right past each other. Maybe you and I aren't so different after all,
We have at least one thing in common. Each of us wants the other head. So good to see you.
The other dead.
The other dead. Oh my god. Each of us wants the other dead. See, I thought it said each other's head. You know?
Yeah, well, it doesn't, so...
I mean, same thing. I also want your head. So good to see you. Hair for a handshake? I don't know why, now I imagine him, he has like one of those like joke buzzers on his hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not in front of the children. Don't move a muscle. I know you've got enough dexterity in a single finger to operate an entire wire saw. If you pull that trick, just know I could dodge it, causing you to slice one of the other detectives instead. Surely you don't want anyone else's blood on those hands of yours.
God damn you, Renegade.
Here's praise from Diabolic. Why, what an honor. Ah, this takes me back to when you were my warden. You remember what happened 10 years ago? Of course, couldn't forget if I wanted to. My buddies there kept dropping by the day. I'm just dying to know what ran through Workaholic Detective's head after witnessing all that. Huh? Workaholic kidnapped others aside from us? Sure did, a whole bunch of them too. Good number of them died. Oops, did Workaholic neglect to share that little detail? Workaholic nods at his lip, then he gives a deep, slow nod.
It was horrible. I regard my actions with all my heart. Under the guidance of Ideal Detective, I continued my work eradicating the secret police. Even so, I still have nightmares of the children murdered by the SPXs. They cling to me, crying. I'll never forget. I'll bear these sins till I die. Until I draw my last breath, I will remain diabolic.
Workaholic's eyes are determined, without a single trace of doubt.
I won't tell you not to go after Workaholic, Watto. There's no question that he's to blame for countless vile, unforgivable enormities. But I promise you, there wasn't a single lie among the words he spoke. Workaholic left the secret police and helped me form the Detective Alliance. He has a pitiable side to him, too. Despite having a stable job and a loving family, his hidden scars still keep him awake at night.
Holmes speaks with a look of sympathy and compassion. Essentially, the secret police, which Workaholic had been a part of, created this underground labyrinth. After Holmes and the others dissolved the organization, they created a better one in its place, the Detective Alliance. If Holmes truly is my old friend Saika, then that means she knew Workaholic was her enemy, yet still gave him a major role in the DA. That alone speaks volumes of her open-minded, accepting nature. I see. Now I understand the context behind the kidnappings 10 years ago. At the moment, I can't make any moral judgments, that's why I don't intend to go after you, Workaholic. But tell me, what were those superpowers Renegade mentioned just now? And why are you so fixated on him anyway?
Right, of course. That's why I'm here, to reveal the truth of those secrets. I had my reservations about Renegade from the start. 8 years ago, he slaughtered his own parents and was sent to a correctional center, where he claimed 3 more lives. That's the monster he truly is.
Kinda embarrassing having someone dredge up your past. Well, let me make just one tiny correction. I only committed 2 murders at that correctional center. My 3rd victim is still alive and well. Can't say the same about their nose, though. Spending your whole life as a mouth breather must be rough, I bet.
His eccentricity should speak for itself, incompetent. It's no coincidence that he was brought here. He's suspected to be the invincible detective, one of the only 2 to ever traverse this entire maze.
Invincible Detective? You mentioned that name back in the dungeon, too.
Don't know what abilities they may have, nor was their age or appearance recorded. In trials, I should have had a 100% death rate. No matter how many SPXs they encountered, they were always able to survive. SP dubbed this individual Invincible Detective and was making preparations to conduct thorough tests on their odd powers. But before the tests could begin, Invincible and their cohorts escaped the facility, never to be found. I've been searching for them to this day.
So you believe this Invincible Detective is actually Renegade Detective? Why is that? Turns out the manor had some renovations done. Not knowing that, I tried opening the hidden passage the same way I'd done before. And Workaholic caught me red-handed. Too bad, so sad. Now he's been on my case ever since. Really spoils the mood, you know?
I suspected you regardless. While you may very well be lying, you're 17 years of age, and Invincible should be between 15 to 20. I believe the Duke's murders are an act of revenge by Invincible, seeing as their vocal distorter, which the SPXs also use, was developed by the SP. Renegade had been given a death sentence, but was pardoned for his exceptional ability. I decided it was best to kill him and avoid further casualties. I don't care if it drags my reputation through the muck. I'll take Renegade Detective's life. I'm ready to become Diabolic one last time.
Heavy silence follows Workaholic's speech. I see now why he views Renegade Detective as such a threat. Same goes for his resolve in reverting back to Diabolic Detective. Workaholic killed Rowdy, that's a fact I can't deny. But it also wasn't out of malevolence. Who should I believe in, Workaholic or Renegade? I can't stand you, Diabolic, not one bit. You don't give me even the slightest tingle. Renegade frowns deeply, then opens his mouth. Let me be honest here. I was a subject of the secret police experiment, it's true. I don't know anything about what name you called me by, but it's true I escaped and used a false identity to survive. I'm a renegade after all. My mere existence is a plague upon those around me. But that doesn't justify killing me, it's just plain unfair. If you want to kill me so badly, be prepared to take responsibility for all that entails, Diabolic Detective. That's the burden of those who kill, and I despise folks who try to shirk that duty with every fiber of my being.
I'm fully prepared, but you're right. My attempt in the dungeon was too underhanded. There's no virtue in taking a life without bearing the sin. Rest assured, Renegade, you'll die by my hand. That will be my final act as Diabolic.
Workaholic lowers his arms after saying his piece. A moment later, I see a glint of light as he gathers something in his hand. He must have picked up some wires that he'd strung all around the area. Trap had been set without me ever noticing. Sudden realization causes a shiver to run down my spine. Is Workaholic intent on killing Renegade Detective here and now if he gets the chance?
Incompetent. I need you to listen carefully. You're probably not ready yet, but contact me via D-pad once you're ready to kill Renegade Detective. With your help, I can end him on the spot. Also, you might run into a SPX. Don't get too close. I'm sure you'll be fine, but make yourself a target, and you won't live to regret it.
With that, Workaholic turns and ambles toward the exit. His footsteps are completely silent as he disappears faster than he seems to move. Wait! I try to follow him, but Renegade Detective stops me. No point chasing after him. He's got nothing else to say. Plus, don't forget this maze is his old stomping ground. Gotta be passages only he knows about, so he'd be way too hard to catch. I was actually trying to find them on my walk earlier, but I didn't see any signs Workaholic had passed through anywhere. Basically, it'd be nothing short of impossible for your average Joe. Renegade smiles with a brightness in his voice. It's hard to imagine he's a murderer when he's making a face like that. The disconnect between his demeanor and the vile things Workaholic told me is enough to make my head spin. What did Workaholic's little tale change your opinion of me? No, it didn't. The past is the past. You're a member of the Detective Alliance now. Besides, something feels off. Even if you were the culprit, you don't seem like the type to resort to crime to enact revenge on the DA. Oh? What makes you say that? I let it aside and speak my honest thoughts. Because you kill who you want. It has nothing to do with revenge, right? You're not wrong there. I'm happy to see you know me so well. Well, that makes one of you. You're right on the money. Like I said, I follow my own path, taking lives and carrying my sins. Revenge only dilutes a senseless act of violence. It's absurd. I'll make sure Workaholic realizes the error of his ways, and you're going to help. Renegade Detective extends his hands to me. Grab his palm and shake it, but his face tells me he's hiding something. Can't let my guard down around this one. Renegade Detective stretches out on the floor, happy as can be. Breathing relaxes as he starts to fall asleep. Holmeson appears next to me as if sensing my inner turmoil.
I know that look. It's saying I have no idea what to believe.
Yeah, I've learned so much. I honestly can't make sense of it all. I understand Workaholic's determination to kill Renegade, and maybe it really would be for the best. But I still can't accept it. Just being a potential threat is enough to warrant death? Should I just doubt everyone and everything? As a detective, I have no idea what the right thing to do is.
Well, that's only natural. It's not as though detectives do nothing but spout out absolute truths. It would be easy to give you a correct answer to spring you into action. But that's not what you're after, is it? It's your duty to agonize, to suffer, but learn the truth slowly. That's what a detective must do. Find answers within the pits of despair. Uncover the answer that's meant for you, Watto. I'll be here, watching over you all the while.
Okay. I think that is a good place to call it quits.
I think so. Definitely covered some good ground. Man,
Yep.
of course I'm telling you, dude. Of course it would be my character, wouldn't it be?
Yep. Well, maybe you're running out of characters to die, so it's bound to be my character next, right? Right?
Nope. It's just fate, man. It's just fate.
Yep. Anyway, we'll leave it off there for now, and yeah, we'll be back to continue chapter 4 next time.